Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Tottenham Hotspur have defeated West Ham United in the first London derby of the season, 3-0. We have 5 things that we learned from the match. Let's get right into it. First off, before I get into lesson number 1, so many narratives in this game. First game without Daniel Levy. Xavi Simons' first game. Potentially, unfortunately not, Kolo Muani's first match as a Tottenham player. And then, of course, the big one, Mohamed Kudus's return to the London Stadium since he became a Tottenham player. And boy, did I wish he got a goal. He was electric, especially in that second half when the game began to open up. We had everything from red cards, set piece mastery. It was a cracking game. So let's get into lesson number 1. Lesson number 1 is going to be about Thomas Frank. It's going to be a quick one. I just want to say one thing. He is more than a manager. He is a top leader. If you were to see the guys, I'm sure you did, coming off the sideline, Mickey Van de Ven, guys like Xavi Simons coming off, he came alongside them, he encouraged them, he spoke to them in such an endearing way, which it looked like. Of course, I didn't know exactly what they said, but he was just championing them and how well that they did before coming off the pitch. I think there's a lot more of that happening behind the scenes at Tottenham Hotspur, on the training ground, in the locker room, wherever. Thomas Frank is not just a manager that can do well with players on the pitch, but he creates this relationship with them to where they trust him. They want to play for him. They want to fight and win games and stuff like that. In crunching Champions League matches, even in matches like this one, who was very tooth and nail, neither team wanted to give an inch. Games like this, that extra edge with the relationship, wanting to play for your manager, wanting to play for the guy next to you, stuff like that can get you across the line. Props and kudos to Thomas Frank. Lesson number 2, it's about Xiao Palinia. That guy is an unseen, unsung hero. The amount of work that he puts in for us off the ball and not willing to do the glamorous, the glorious work, of course, winning the ball, being an outlet outside of pressure. I think stuff like that goes unseen and unthanked, and he was a big part of today's win. The fight, the hunger, and the drive in that player is outstanding. I know everyone's talking about Bergval, Sarr, Kudus, even Xavi Simons in this match, but man, that guy, I think without him, this game would have been different. Not in the sense that we would have lost, but it would have just felt so much more uneasy. Of course, they had the red card. They were one man down. But without Xiao Palinia, that guy, the game would look so different. So Xiao Palinia, if we can keep him fit, keep him for the big games, obviously, that guy is going to turn into a really special. He already is a special part of this team, but even more so, we're going to be looking at him like we look at a Kulusevski, like we look at a Van de Ven and Romero. That guy's going to be a true key factor in Thomas Frank's system. Lesson number 3, it's about the boy, Lucas Bergval. Let me just say this. Lucas Bergval is still that guy. Tottenham's player of the year, young player of the year last year. He is still just as good, if not even more developing under Thomas Frank, because he hasn't started as consistently as he was starting under Ange Postecoglou. Of course, we were riddled with injuries that season, but he really broke into the side with the European campaign in the lack of squad depth that we had, and he became this player that, of course, we saw him to be whenever we got him from the Swedish league. But man, he is still that guy. Kind of got overshadowed by Sarr in the first few games. PSG, Burnley, Man City. Everyone's like, Sarr this, Sarr that. And don't get me wrong, Pape Matar Sarr is a top player, and he is going to have so many lessons in the future whenever we make these videos, because he's just going to get better and better. Scored a goal as well today, so props to him. But this topic, this lesson is about Lucas Bergval. That guy, he's going to turn into a great player. I cannot wait to see him develop, especially under Frank. I feel like he could still be a contender for Tottenham's player of the season if he continues to develop. And lesson number 4 is about set pieces, because set pieces are going to be key for us, especially during games like this, and of course big games, big Champions League games down the line, when, like I said earlier in the video, very tooth and nail, both teams are digging their heels in, nobody wants to make an inch, hostile environments like today. We need a breakthrough goal. A set piece is going to be so key because it wasn't really key. It wasn't really a strong suit under Ange Postecoglou. We like making that breakaway run, back post finish from Brennan Johnson. That was really it from our goal outlets. Having set pieces in our arsenal, forgive me for saying that word, is huge in Thomas Frank's system because, let's just put it in perspective. We had 13 corners this match, not counting the long throws, not counting the fouls. So we roughly had 20 or something set pieces this entire match. That is huge. Plenty of opportunities. And best part, we looked like we were going to score every single one that we had. We scored off of one, not directly off of one, but it was Bergval's goal. Palinia passed it quickly to Romero. He sends a beautiful ball into Lucas Bergval. Heads it in over the keeper. It was fantastic. Shout out Lucas Bergval and Romero. That was fantastic. The set pieces are going to be key, so I'm very thankful that we have that option to score from alongside, the back post runs and, little glimpse of magic from Kudus or somebody else. Set pieces are massive. And last but not least, lesson number 5, and this one is kind of a downer. I hate to end the video like this, but I do think that Brennan Johnson has officially lost his starting spot in the lineup. Of course, we've seen it over the past few games where he hasn't started. He's been poor the last few games, and I feel for him because I love the guy personally. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great player, but he's just so his niche and his profile is so specific. He was utilized fantastically under Ange. He was a top scorer, obviously. The back post finish from Brennan Johnson, he just has the eye for goal. He knows when to be in the right place at the right time. I rate him in a specific way, but I think with what Thomas Frank has us set up by, I just think Brennan Johnson needs to develop or really reimagine his game because I feel like right now there's not really an avenue for him to step into the team as a starter. I think the best chance he has is playing in a match where we're going to be counterattacking a lot and he comes off the bench because even if we are counterattacking, I would rather a Odebear because he works better with the system and the build-up. And I just feel like Brennan Johnson needs to figure something out to get back in this squad. I rate him. I like him. I just think that he's officially lost his spot now that Xavi Simons, even Colomwani, because we saw Xavi Simons play on the left today, not in the 10 like we all expected him to be in. So with that in mind, obviously Kudus as the right wing locked down, and the only place I see Brennan Johnson getting a look in is in that left wing spot. So if we don't get an injury, or if Brennan Johnson doesn't adapt his game, I don't see him getting in the squad. So that's the 5 things that we learned. Let me know your thoughts on the match. Let me know the things that you learned that I might not have said. Let them know in the comments. In the Tottenham 3, West Ham 0. Come on, you Spurs. God bless.